All right. This is Doc coming to you at noon and 9. Doing it again from right here in our den. Black Facts headquarters, Black Facts Central. That's right. Coming to you from out of the deep. Trying not to be a creep, even though we're doing it on the cheap, we're doing it on the fly. Hopefully you like everything that we're doing, and that's no lie. Let's see what we got today for a proverb. He who asks questions, the answers. He who asks questions cannot avoid the answers. Now that's a proverb from Cameroon. Cameroonian proverb there. He who asks questions cannot avoid the answers. Okay, so think about that. See how that might apply to your life. He who asks questions cannot avoid the answers. I guess it also tells you if you don't want to know the answer, don't ask the question. Right. Yeah, I think that kind of goes without saying, right? Okay, we're moving on to our poem for today from the works of Henry Dumas of the African-American Dumas family. Coming right out of Poetry for My People. That's right. Don't be sheeple. Just be some people. And here we go. This one is called Black Trumpeter. We must kill our gods before they kill us. Not because we will to kill, but because our gods think themselves gods. They are only actors who have lost their script, cannot remember the lines, and fake visions of themselves without mirrors, phantoms screaming without voices. We must kill our gods before they kill us. This then is the law and the testament. With malice toward none, we give your warning. When the statue falls, the pedestal remains. Blackbirds do not light upon the roots of trees. The wing praises the root by taking to the limbs. We are Americans looking in the mirror of Africa. Yeah, man. Brother Dumas. That's a heavy brother. He had lots of time to think, apparently. Wasn't under no pressure. No pressure. Yeah, buddy. Okay. So add that to your coterie of thoughts for the day. Meanwhile, returning to my life in the bush of ghosts, coming around the bend, here we come into the home stretch with the invisible magnetic missive sent to me from home. Having been educated and become the chief judge of my mind was then at rest. I did not feel to go to my town again. Even I determined that I should not go forever. But one night when I slept, I dreamed a dream, which was just as if I was in my hometown and also eating with my mother and brother as we were doing before we left each other. And I was playing with my friends as before entered the bush of ghosts. So when I woke up in the morning, I remembered all these dreams. Then I began to feel to go. But however, I was putting my mind away from it. When I slept the following night, I dreamed the same dream again. But when I woke up in the morning, I felt to go my town more than the first time. And the third time that I dreamed again, I was unable to eat, play, or feel happy at all except to go. Even if I walk to any corner, it would seem as if I was with my people, doing everything we were doing before I left them. So at this stage, I thought of nothing more than to go, because I could not sleep both day and night anymore. And I was always dreaming without sleeping or without closing my eyes, not knowing that my people at home had gone to an earthly fortune teller and asked him whether I am still alive or dead. But he told them that I'm still alive in a bush, but my aim is not to come back to home anymore. He said furthermore that I'm living with somebody who's taking great care of me, although he was unable to tell them the real bush that I was in, and he could not tell them the kind of person that I was living with, as he told them that I am still alive. My people simply told him to call me home with the power of his invisible, missive, magnetic juju, which could bring a lost person back to home from an unknown place. How far it may be, with or without the will of the lost person. So having paid him his workmanship in advance, then he started to send the juju to me at night, which was changing my mind or thought every time to go home. Now we're going to leave that one right where it's at today, because I also said today that we would, that I would do just a short little piece on Juneteenth. And I'm going to come out of another book that I want to introduce to you, which is this book right here, Black Facts Volume 19. Okay. What is Juneteenth? We produced this book back in 2015. These are the kind of materials that we're producing at Black Facts. We are a publishing entity, but we are also a research and development corporation. So we do educational research, and our research has led us to some conclusions, because when you listen to the daily news, they kind of gloss over what is Juneteenth. So we wanted to give you the serious scoop without any of the poop. Here you go. Juneteenth, also known as Juneteenth, Independence Day, Freedom Day, or Emancipation Day, is a holiday in the U.S. that commemorates the announcement of the abolition of slavery in the U.S. state of Texas in June 1865, and more generally, the emancipation of African American slaves throughout the Confederate South. Celebrated on June 19th, the term is what they call a portmanteau of June and 19th. So you take the first part of one word and another part of another word, and you mash them together, and you call that a portmanteau, and is recognized as a state holiday or special day of observance in most states. Okay. The holiday is observed primarily in local celebrations. Traditions include public readings of the Emancipation Proclamation, singing traditional songs such as Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, and Lift Every Voice and Sing, of which we have a group on Facebook called Lift Every Voice. That's where the name comes from. And readings by noted African-American writers such as Ralph Ellison and Maya Angelou. Ralph Ellison, matter of fact, we've got a whole book we're going to post online here in a minute about Juneteenth. He's got a novel. Celebrations may include parades, rodeos, street fairs, cookouts, family reunions, park parties, historical reenactments, or Miss Juneteenth contest. So there's a whole history to this Juneteenth day. We didn't just come up with this on the fly. And as a matter of fact, if you dig a little bit deeper, you'll find out that Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation on September 22nd, 1862, but it didn't become effective until January 1st, 1863. So that's another important date in the history of African Americans. And then that particular proclamation declared all slaves to be freed in the Confederate States of America in rebellion and not in Union hands. So that excluded Tennessee, Virginia, and Lower Louisiana, which were occupied by the Union. It also announced that the Union would start recruiting former slaves and free blacks to serve in the military, and recruitment began in the spring of 1863. So there's more to learn about Juneteenth than just what we've been reading right here. But I just wanted to give you a heads up on what exactly is Juneteenth, because there seems to be, if you listen to the daily news, they kind of gloss over it. They mash it up like they usually do and give us a bunch of mashed trash. And I didn't really appreciate that. So I thought I would try to clarify, give you a little clarity on that in case you weren't aware. I know many of you are, but some of you are not. So we're trying to get everybody on the same page. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, let's do this little dance. If you're seeing this on the tube, make sure, don't be a boob, click the subscribe button on the tube. If you're seeing us on Facebook, you're going to feel all right and you'll be able to take flight if you just go ahead and give us a like. Give us a like, because there's no reason to have a fright. We're just trying to bring you some good information and help ease your mind in these stressful times. Then after you do that, go ahead and give us a share. Show everybody that you really do care by giving us a share. Share our live stream with your friends, your family, and even your enemies, so you can turn them into some frenemies. You know how we do it over here. Last but not least, we will have a special celebration coming up on the actual day, June 19th. That's June 19th, otherwise known as Juneteenth Day. Look for it right here on the Black Facts channel. Until then, we are out and about, heading to the garden, because we got some things to do with the flowers out there.